Hello, my name is Emma and I'm the librarian for law. I'm going to start off by giving you just a quick intro on how to use Web of Science. So first we're going to look at how we can access Web of Science, and then I'm going to share some search tips on how to search Web of Science and find academic articles. So from the Library Search homepage, you can see we've got a few quick links here, one of which says eResources A to Z. From this page, if you just select W and then scroll down a little bit, you'll see a link that says Web of Knowledge, which is actually the same as Web of Science. So we'll select that now, and that should then open up Web of Science for us, ready to start our search. So from the home page of Web of Science, you can see we have a basic search here that we can start our search in. So we have a search box that we can put a term in. So we may want to do a search for a topic on, let's say, for example, abortion. And you can see I've used the topic because it is kind of a subject search that I'm looking for rather than a specific author or specific title. If you did have something like that you wanted to find, then you can change this setting so you can select either title or author. And there are a few other options in there that you can have a look at. So I could run a search for abortion, but the chances are I'll get a lot of results back. So I might want to add in some other keywords to say kind of what aspect of that I want to research and find out more about. So just down here you can see I can add a row. So if I click on add a row, it gives me an option to put in some more search terms. Now you can see here I've got this option that says and if I select there, it's a drop down and you can choose either and or not. We kind of refer to these as ways of connecting your keywords together. So you can either make the search more specific or more broader, depending on which ones you select. So I'm going to start off actually just by broadening out the search slightly. So I'm going to choose or, and then I'm going to put in another term. So I might put in termination of pregnancy. So you can use it to think about alternative terms for the initial topic that you've entered. Mainly because quite often there might be different related terms or concepts that might be useful to search for as well within the same search. So I now want to add another row, and this time instead of selecting or, I'm going to use and what this will allow me to do is to make the search a little bit more specific. So I'm going to put in here something around decriminalisation. Okay, and then I can start to run my search. So just to explain a little bit further about what this is doing, so my search is going to search for either abortion or termination of pregnancy, or maybe both if they're mentioned in the same record, and decriminalisation. So decriminalisation will have to apply to both of the terms. And then I can run my search. Okay, so I've got just under 6,000 results come back, so it's quite a few results. So I probably will want to put some filters on this, just so that there aren't so many to go through. And down the side there, you've got a set of different filters that we can have a look at. So for example, you can filter it by highly cited, which means that paper has been used by lots of other researchers and authors whilst they've been researching their papers. So that could be a useful one to have a look at. Publication years, so particularly if you want to apply it to the law in a more more recent times, then you might want to pay a bit of attention to that and maybe select ones that maybe have just been published within the last 5 years, or maybe more recently if it's a really kind of fast moving sort of area of the law. You've got different categories within there that you can have a look at as well. So in terms of the categories that it's picked the articles up from within, so if I click on the more options section there, it should give me some different things to have a look at that I can scroll through and select any that I think will be useful to either exclude or include within part of my search area. So you can see that there's a law one there that you can have a look at if you want to. So let's just put that one and refine that search. Okay, so that helps me to cut down my results slightly, so I'm just looking at it within the right field. Just be aware that sometimes though the area that you're looking at may be cross-disciplinary, so you might want to have more than kind of one sort of category selected. The other area you might want to have a look at is the document type. So within Web of Science it is mainly academic article content, but there will be things like book reviews or general reviews that may not be as useful to your research. So just by choosing articles and then clicking on refine again, you will just then see the articles coming up within there that you can have a look at. And there are others within there as well, so there are things like authors and source titles and so on. Something else to just to mention really that sometimes can be useful, if you find any articles when you're kind of doing your refining and you're having a look through, and you might want to have a look a bit more at the abstract to find out if it's actually suitable to your area of research. So let's just look at the top one. So obviously I can scroll down and I can have a little look a bit more around the article here, but also it will give me keywords. So for example, they are author supplied keywords. So as well as the keywords that I first thought of, there may be secondary ones from within the keywords that might be useful that I hadn't thought about, you know, including, that I can think about included in my search as well, either to broaden it out or find more related terms, for example. So that's something worth just mentioning there as well. You've got links to cited references within there, and you can view those there by clicking on the view related records, and that will give you links to all of that other article content that may be of interest for you to read around the subject or use. In terms of actually accessing the particular article, it's always better, rather than clicking on the Find PDF link there, to click where it says check for full text provided by University of Kent. So if I click on the link, it then takes me to a page where I can choose. So quite often you may have a huge amount of different links to select from. That probably means that it's indexed in quite a few different other databases. So let's just click on the Hein Online one. Okay, and then that takes me through into the database. The reason that I chose the Hein Online one is because it is a law database, so it's probably one that you might use anyway, so hopefully it will look a little bit familiar to you. Okay, just to mention a few other things that might be useful when you're doing your article searching. Firstly, something that can help you to save a lot of time is to create an alert. So as soon as you've run a search, Web of Science kind of prompts you over the side to say you've searched for your topic areas, and it will list those ones there. Do you want to create an alert for it? What creating alert will do is it will allow your actual search results to send you an email every time a new reference is added based on your keywords. So if you click on the create an alert, you can then give it an alert name. Now, just to mention, the first time that you use this, you will need to register. So even though we've accessed it through the library website, you still need to kind of just register some brief details about yourself so that it picks it up with your specific email address to send the alert to. So all I do is just put in a quick abortion, and then just make sure that says send me email alerts. So when you do your registration, it will ask you to put an email address in there that you'd like those alerts to be sent to, and then click on that create alert. And then that will then successfully create your alert for you. So that's a really simple way just to keep you up to date when you're actually not even doing any searching. It will just alert you to sort of new resources that might be useful to have a look at. So just a couple of other things as well in terms of resources. So when you go into the particular articles, as we had a look at previously, always remember to take a look at the list of references at the end of the article to follow up on more further reading and more further research. You've also got options here to show you how many times a particular article has been cited, so that may be useful in terms of telling you the importance of that article in the field. But you know, don't rule out other articles if they don't have really high citation counts. It's still worth doing some further research around that. So you've got options to have a look at those if you want to, and again, kind of other ways to finding more resources. So hopefully that gives you some sort of clear, simple guidance on how to go about accessing academic articles via Web of Science. But please do feel free to either visit the law guide, the library law guide, which is called Law Links, and I'm just going to quickly show you how you can access that now. So from Library Search there's an option that says Subject Guides. And from here, if we scroll down a little way, you'll see the Law Links guide there. So within here there's links to the electronic law library and information about specific kind of things like finding legal articles, for example, and it's got how to contact me on here as well. So please do feel free to get in touch if you do need help with any of the kind of searching, refining your search skills, or just accessing particular databases and using them. I'd be more than happy to help you.